tricky mate. Hello? What the hell is that? Oh my god. I'm just made it. Oh my goodness. This is really unbelievable. Hello everybody, this is Grandmaster Max Dlugy with my new weekly show, Take It on Max, and we're starting today with games, 5-0 games that I'm going to play, and then a short post-mortem to tell you where you went wrong, okay? So let's go. Let's see who can get me today. I'm ready for anything. Okay, Lord Kinbouti from United Kingdom. Good luck to you. Let's play the Sicilian defense. Let's see how we fare there. Okay, the closed variation, knight c6. The key here is not to give up, not to let white exchange the light squared bishop too early for the knight. That's if white goes bishop b5. Okay, we have avoided that, and now we play e5 to block that e-pawn from going further up. That's the way I treat the closed king, the closed Sicilian anyway. And the knight goes to e7. And we can safely castle. Let's see how white plays this. Okay, as soon as the bishop goes to e3, we go knight d4. That's one of the important tricks of the trade, I would say. The reason is that white now cannot take knight takes knight. Yeah, he has to do something like that. And okay, then we can maybe see how to weaken white's queenside a bit first before doing anything else, and still getting some of these moves in for free, so to speak. Bishop a2. And maybe another one, queen a5, queen a6, so that, okay. And I think finally the trick has worked, and I managed to eat away at white's queenside, right? Here it is, an extra pawn. So, but had white continued to weaken his queenside, then of course there would be other issues with white's position. Okay, bishop g4 doesn't immediately win. Should I try to stop? Yeah, I should open up my bishop, I think. I think that's a good idea. I have such a strong bishop that I should open it up. Okay, this one, well, this one is a possibility to win an exchange. I shouldn't say no to that. Look at my bishops at work. One is winning the exchange, the other one is taking control of the whole board. Obviously a good situation to be in. Very happy situation to be in for black. Now we're in the technical phase and exchanging the pawn up. All right, let's take that guy. And okay, now interesting how to deal with this. Perhaps I should just open up the b file by playing rook b8 and b5. That's what I would have done anyway, had white not been so much material behind. So why not do it now, right? Usually plans that you plan on before you win material are just as good as after you win material. Even better, right? I mean, that just makes sense. Okay, no particular threat, so I can continue. Opening up the position for my rooks. And okay, this is a defensive move, but fine. And now I can continue opening up the position for my rook. a5 to go a4. Simple, everything quite simple actually. If you look at it, nothing very convoluted, just very simple stuff, right? But extremely brutal, I would say. Okay, now I can exchange lots and lots of pieces, but the best is to take the queen and just continue moving this pawn, because obviously there's no defense to playing a2, which will win another rook. So that will put me up. A rook exchange, that's a bit too much, even from the lord from Britain to take on, I believe. So next game. So if we actually go back and see what happened here, we will see that, first of all, I mean, white did not misplay the opening that much initially, but the problems came a little later. Let's take a look. So e4, c5, knight c3, knight 6, g3, g6. In this position, f4, d6, knight f3, e5. This is a standard way. Black is taking control over d4 square, and he's going to take control over the e6 square with his knight and bishop. So it's not a big deal. The light square is going to be controlled by pieces. After castles, knight e7, you can already see it's controlled. d3 castles, bishop e3. Key idea for black, immediately to come in to d4, but not before white puts the bishop there, because we want to avoid knight takes knight, pawn takes, and the knight moving away and then going c3. That will weaken our eventually our pawn structure. That's why we want to go knight d4 only when white's bishop is here on e3. That will stop knight takes knight. Black, when white attacks, we start to loosen up white's queen side. Let's see how that's done. Attack one pawn, attack another pawn, attack a third pawn. Okay, clearly white should have played something like a4, stopping the attack, but then already you can see that after, let's say, b5 here, or even another move, I was thinking was just to play h6. The idea is to prepare f5 without allowing knight g5, or even knight takes knight. Okay, no, I like h6. Let's say in c3, knight takes knight, and f5. Now, okay, this is actually a mistake, because after this pawn is hanging. So instead of this h6 move, it looks like I should be playing something like rook c8, or maybe queen a5, maybe something like this, queen a5. That will also help my queen side advance. So if now c3, then knight takes knight and queen takes pawn, right? So that stops c3 again, and now I'm continuing to build my pressure on the queen side. At the same time, f5 is in the air at some point, maybe preparing it with h6. Not so easy for white to really get something out of this position. Instead, of course, we had what do we have? Let's go back to this position. Instead, we had white just give up a pawn on a2, and that started a whole cascade of problems. c4, pawn takes pawn. Of course, now white should have taken the pawn, after which I would have played f5, and of course black would be still winning, a pawn up. But after this, of course, it became too much. And now the simplest plan was just to get one of the files open, and after I got the files open, goodbye, said white. Okay, next game. Sox gambit, good luck. Let's see what gambit that is. I'm going to try to avoid gambits by playing bishop f4. That avoids the Albin counter gambit, the Budapest gambit, and then all such stuff. Even the Tarrasch gambit. Called the London system. Here I am developing my pieces. Okay, and let's get my pawn out to c4. Knight c3 and queen b3. Now I can attack. Attacking b7. Time for black to defend. Many defensive options here. Queen b6, queen c8, or even b6. I think white is better after all of them. But let's see. Let's see how it goes. Okay, queen b6, c5, very thematic to open up the a file. Once the a file is open, I'm going to try to attack on that file. Here we go. Bishop takes knight is the threat now. And let's just continue attacking. And okay, maybe I should take a moment to play h3, and now b5. That's my plan. b5, and once I get one of the pawns exchanged on c6, I can start with the other one. Or I can go bishop a6, threatening to get some good exchanges, winning some exchanges. With bishop b7 or taking pawns on c6. Basically, the weakness on c6 is going to be quite serious here. And black's compensation is not very clear. Okay, well, certainly takes. Certainly takes. And now we go bishop a6. Actually, rook c8 helped me get an extra tempo into the attack. So really made it difficult for black. Although without the tempo, it's still hard to imagine how to defend against all these things. Anyway, this wins the exchange and maybe more if I want it. Here it is. That's one exchange down. All right, time to take, let's see, what should I take? Well, let's take the exchange, right? Why not? Bishop takes. Okay, now black wants to play e5. Let me try to stop it. Yeah, let me try to stop it for now. Okay, e5 is not that dangerous now, so I'll just take a pawn. Worst come to worst, I can just ignore it, right? Just castle away from it. And a pawn in exchange up. I could have taken with the knight, attacking the bishop, attacking the pawn on c6, but this is simple. Simple is always good. Now, just keep my plan together. I'm going to play b5 next. All right, rook e1. I don't want to do because I don't want to even calculate stuff like that. Okay, this I'm just going to start taking. Okay, just start taking everything here. And okay, c6 probably wins, but why not just take another pawn? Now the piece count is even worse. c6 is a threat, followed by bishop takes f7. There are many more threats than that, but black is just lost here, obviously. Okay, that threat is quite big, so I'm going to go for it. And that wins at least a piece. At least another piece. So let me take this one. And game over. Okay, so if we look back at what happened here, the key thing that happened is that once we got the game going, after d4, d5, c4, c6, knight c3, e6, queen b3, already you can see black is a little bit passive, right? So he has to defend. Queen c8 may be a better choice than queen b6, but anyway, queen b6 takes, knight d7, stopping bishop takes knight and rook takes pawn. Okay, I could have played h3 here just to stop this knight h5 idea, but I didn't mind it. So okay, black could have played knight h5. That may have been a bit tougher to deal with, but I have some ideas on that actually. But bishop e7, I still played h3, and now b5 is in the air. Black can't really defend against it because after a6, I still play b5, right? And the rook is pinned, so pawn takes pawn, knight takes b5, and boom. Black has to castle, but okay, white has a big positional edge. So after castles, b5, rook c8 is just a big mistake. Here at least black should have taken the rook, but I would have just played b4 simply and just continued with this huge edge. The a pawn is weak, eventually we'll have to go to a6. After I play b5, this pawn will be weak. Black is positionally close to being lost, I would say. And anyhow, after rook c8 takes, this already wins material. And of course, the game was over shortly after that. Okay, who's next? Who is next? little Plotkin. Good luck from Canada. You may have played Blitz, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, let's play the Sicilian defense. There it is. Alright. And now, wide choice for white. Lots of lines to try. Bishop e2, bishop g5, okay. Bishop g5. Let's see, f4, interesting, okay, let's play h6. Let's play h6. I want that bishop to unprotect the f pawn. That's my little trick. Now queen b6. Okay, now this is interesting. What happens now? I don't know. This was maybe a mistake. That's what you're trying to say. Because now, of course, the rook is hanging. This is maybe a huge mistake. Okay, what if I come out? How does this work exactly? If you take my rook, I take your knight, and it's not so clear, right? If you attack my queen, I'll defend knight against knight takes c7, knight c7 check. Also not clear. So obviously very, very tense position. Okay, time to defend. Although maybe knight takes e4 was possible. I don't know why I just didn't even look at it. But fine. I took a pawn, that's enough. That's enough for now. Let me just finish my development. I'll be happy with that. Pawn up. Why not? Okay, let's get this situation clarified. Let's say okay, let's hit the knight. And now let's think about this. This is interesting. Let's see what happens on this. I'm kind of curious. If I open up the position for my pieces, how that's gonna work. I want to exchange a few pieces here so that I'm not threatened by too many things. Okay, well, definitely time for an in-between move here. Knight takes bishop check and take that. Yeah, okay, well, that gives me a feeling of safety, certain amount of safety here. I should develop though. I should continue to develop, I think. So I'll just develop my bishop for now. Connect my rooks. That can never be bad. Okay, I can now, let's play bishop f6 and rook b8 here. Although I don't really know why I couldn't just take the pawn on e5. Okay, this one I should probably take. Okay, this is interesting stuff. So how many pawns is white willing to give up? I don't know. Okay, let's let's go with something interesting here. Let's complicate a bit. Let's take the rook. Okay, now I can just move my bishop though. Just move my bishop. And I can play rook b7, right? What if I take more pawns? I'm just going to take pawns. That's the way I'm going to try to play this position, just as a pawn grabber. I don't really see how much White's initiative is real and how much it's fake. So okay, now I'm gonna definitely try to fix. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna defend this so the rook isn't so strong. Let's see how this goes. I got a big fist of pawns on the F and E files, plus an extra equal. Okay. Okay, time to get my rook into the game, I believe. How many pawns am I up? For 3 pawns. That's almost a piece, right? Okay, now time to get my queen into the game. Okay, king h8. Yeah, why not? Now I'm threatening to either win another pawn or exchange queens, being up a lot more pawns. Okay, this exchanges queens, and then the position should become just a simple formality after that, right? Because I'm up 2 pawns. That's a lot of pawns in an endgame. Okay, let's take some more space. Okay, here I have space. Here I have a nice. Okay, got that guy. Actually, maybe I should come back. I'm not quite sure I wanted to do that. Okay, now let's get the bishop out and the pawn out. Now let's move the king here, and now it's time to move in on the other side. Okay, let's defend this pawn here first before taking a third one. That would be third extra pawn, and I'm keeping count just in case. I'm keeping count. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god. Oh my god. I just blundered. Oh my god, I just blundered. Can you imagine this guy? Oh my god. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is completely crazy to blunder like that. Yeah, very bad. Very bad form. Okay, what's that? Black's trying to. Guess Black is trying to at least not lose. That makes sense, considering. Ay. Very, very bad by me. can't speak now. And what happened? Oh my god. By how many? By 0.9 seconds. Okay, very good. Well tricked from a losing position. Okay, well, still, let's examine what happened. Because although I lost, I doubt that that would have happened in a real game. Let's see. So, okay, first of all, this f4 move is a little bit, there's a problem with it because of this idea, because basically if the knight moves now, queen e3 check hits the pawn. So this is the point why white really kind of had to play maybe bishop f2, but this results in a position where it's not clear that white actually has a good continuation, because knight c7 check, king d8, knight takes rook, queen takes knight, and suddenly the knight's hit, and obviously white's getting nowhere. So after queen d2, queen a5, although actually knight e4 should have been considered seriously, because after this should be 2. All I need to do is figure out how to defend against knight c7, but I could maybe even sacrifice and take a couple more pawns. Hard to say if it's worth it. In any case, I decided not to go for this dangerous line and just played queen a5 defending, and then after bishop e7 castles, we got into a position where basically white is just a pawn down, and knight takes knight allowed this, of course, which now just takes away white's attacking chances. Okay, I mean, there were attacking chances. I just started exchanging pieces, and now white's attack is going to be with very few pieces. So even though he has weakened my position, but I tied up his bishop to f1, and now all I need to do is exchange queens, which I managed to do right here. And then of course the position was completely winning, and somewhere around here when I put my rook inappropriately on h3, I had to move it away, or move my bishop away, and of course then white would just have to lose in a few more moves. But unfortunately I rushed and basically lost the bishop right here. And towards the end of the game, of course, the position is still objectively drawn, but I got flagged. That happens to the best of us. All right, let's see who's next. Next game is against Tired Dad. Hello, Tired Dad. Hope you're less tired this evening for you. Probably around 8:30 your time. And let's see another how you defend against the London system today. Last time it wasn't such a hot defense, I have to say. Okay. All right. So far so good. c4. Okay. Let me try to play for e4 then, as quickly as possible. Okay. Let me go for the e4 advance and start the attack immediately on the king side. Okay. Good. Okay, knight. Okay. Let's see. Should I keep my bishop there, or is it dangerous? Maybe I should exchange bishops. This is what maybe I should do. Let's exchange these bishops, or at least try to. Or try to weaken your king side. Okay, I'm just going to develop. I mean, I assume that the exchanges will come anyway. Okay, if they don't come, all the better. I'll just keep them in mind for future. Okay, here after b3, I suppose you want to play pawn takes, knight a5, but then I'll play b4 and a4. So let me try b3, weakening your queen side a bit too. This early b5 should not be a good idea, okay? So let's try to make use of it. Okay. That doesn't actually defend because the pawn is pinned. So that's going to be one big one for me. Okay, now I should probably point out your other problems, which is the king side. F5, okay. Yeah, the e5, the e6 pawn. That should be problematic as well. Okay. Knight takes, and again attacking e6. And now we just castle and ready to attack e6 once again. Okay, well that of course is a simple tactic, trying to win the queen. If black takes back with rook e1, it was hard to protect them. But now black's position falls apart because nothing is safe here. Nothing is safe. Okay, let's just take more stuff. Or actually, yeah, let me just take more stuff. Threatening again, many more very unpleasant things against black's pieces. For example, this would win the queen, right? So that's a good shot. Okay, so if we go back and see what happened here, you'll see a couple of classic mistakes that black has made to get himself into this mess. So first of all, after the first moves, which are fine, black plays this move c4. Now, what does that mean? That means that now there's no tension on the square, which means that I can play for e4. I could even play e4 now. It may be quite a good move, in fact. But in any case, I decided to prepare it, and here black should have at least tried to maybe get rid of my bishop, maybe play bishop d6, and maybe get some pieces out. Instead, he continues to weaken his queen side without development. This is always dangerous. And here black should, of course, just leave it be, just continue developing, let me play e5. Of course, I will have a huge positional advantage here on the king side, which will probably lead to a big advantage in the game, but at least it would be a fight. After this, the weakness of these pawns, the fact that my pawn is higher up than this one, the very strong position of my bishop, all of that together give me a huge positional advantage. And after knight d5, bishop g5, bishop e7, knight f3, it's hard to imagine how black can really survive against the impending a4 idea. f6 just weakens the position, and after knight c6 already b3 starts the process of just destroying black's queen side. At some point I want to play c4, at some point I want to play bishop d3 and attack on this side, but black will eventually play f5, then that weakens the e-pawn. We saw that in the game, in fact, but this of course is just a blunder, after which everything crumbled. Okay, who's next? Franca, good luck. Okay, knight f6 for me and g6. Simple moves. I'm just developing. Just developing, that's all I'm doing. Okay. Get my knight out and play e5. Okay, keep some pieces on. Attack your bishop. Okay, so that's one extra move that you really needn't have made, right? I've already won a tempo. I'm winning another tempo by attacking your bishop. And now I'm winning a third tempo by attacking your knight. Look how mini moves I'm getting in for free. That's a big bonus for me. And that will of course all translate into something pretty dangerous for white shortly. If I can make that transformation work. So first of all, let's actually play b6, a nice preparation move to get the bishop to a6 too. Okay, this I don't want to exchange anything yet. I want to keep all the pieces tied up because white is definitely constrained by my pawn on e4, therefore no exchanges. We exchange only when we have a space disadvantage, not advantage. Okay, here I have to calculate a little bit some line space to width, but okay, let me play bishop a6. That will tie up white's knight, because if knight moves now I can go knight takes bishop, which is what happened, and win an exchange. That's already something in this position. My space advantage has materialized into a material advantage, which I can now try to utilize. Okay, queen d3 checks looks like it's very tempting. And now just pin. Well, it's not really a pin, but it's definitely an attempt to exchange queens. Okay, no queen exchanges coming up yet. Okay, what does white want to do? He wants to play bishop c4. Cool. Let's stop that. This one I have queen d5 on to protect my pawn and attack the pawn on a2. If that one falls, the whole queen side falls, right? Well, white's still holding on a bit, but it's getting tougher. Now let's sidestep to attack another target, the c3 pawn. Okay, and keep white under this strain of positional issues. Now queen b2 will force that queen back because the rook and the bishop are attacked. Of course I can start just taking some pawns, but instead of that, let me just try to prepare rook d8. Also now I can take on a2 with impunity because white won't be able to go rook a1, rook takes a7. So a couple of ideas behind one move, that's always nice. That doesn't work. I just win the queen and it's all over. Okay, so what happened there? I think I kind of explained it during the game, but let me try to do it again. So this, first of all, the bishop on d3 doesn't really belong because it's going to be hit by these pawns coming up, or the queen on d8. You'll see that in a few moves. So d6, knight e5, and now either I'm going to eventually play like queen e7 and e4, hitting that bishop, or forcing it to move rather. So obviously the bishop would be better off on e2 or even c4 because it wouldn't be hit so much. Now I take and I immediately attack the bishop, right? So I win a tempo. Why give your opponent time? Another point, another tempo, attacking the bishop. White doesn't really want that done. White moves again and attacking. Look at the initiative that is being created from that, and very quickly b6 is a good move because now the bishop has great squares either here or here supporting this strong pawn that's kind of suffocating white. White's already close to lost, I would say. Knight c4, no exchanges, and now okay, white, it's very hard for white to even move. I'm just planning to go like queen e7, rook d8, and at some point b5, c4, and then switch to attacking on the king side. Of course white just decides to move the knight, but now he's down material, and I simply centralize my pieces, weaken my opponent's pawns, and weaken them further, find inroads, go in, and you can see that after this I'm already threatening rook d8, I'm threatening queen a2, and okay, this is just a blunder. But in any case, tough game. Next. Let's see who's next. Peter Patzer. Okay. England's popular today. I guess it's around 9 o'clock. Okay, let's continue with the London system. Who knows? Maybe you're actually... Okay, this is going to be interesting. Okay? Let me sacrifice a little bit here. See how we deal with that. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. All right. This is the Albin counter with an extra move bishop f4 for white. I'm playing the Albin counter gambit. And the difference is, of course, that the extra tempo allows me to just sidestep normal routes and castle queenside quickly. Okay, interesting idea. Should I play queen b5 check or just play f3? No, I'll just go this way. Let's continue. Believing in our position. We have a serious belief here that white has huge compensation for the pawn. Let's see if that works out. Okay. Now, I think I should just continue getting active with my pieces. Okay, no Mr. Nice Guy. No cheese. Okay, let's kick this guy back. And let's move our bishops into menacing positions, okay? d6 is in the air, opening up everything. Let's see if black can survive this onslaught. I hardly doubt it, but everything's possible. Okay, rook bishop e8. Fine. Let's do it. Let's open it up, okay? Let's take some material. Okay, that's a queen sack, which I'll accept because I have more pieces coming. I have more pieces coming. So now I'm already up a row. So, I mean, a quick game, but actually quite interesting because black played reasonable moves and somehow wound up losing. And so let's take a look. So what happened here? This is a very interesting line. Black is supposed to play something like a6 to actually stop this pieces coming to b5. g6 is quite possible and has been played before, as has been bishop g4 actually. Okay, so in this position up to h3, black should probably take on f3, but even then white has a great compensation, especially along this diagonal. White will eventually play d6 and this whole diagonal is going to be in ruins. So it's actually very difficult for black to equalize here. I don't think black can equalize in this manner actually. And now it's just hard to develop pieces. And black plays knight h5, knight a6, tries to develop. But look at this. Now d6 is in the air. If the queen comes out, I can play knight c4, hitting e7, and again d6 is in the air. What to do? Black plays bishop e8, but I just open up everything. d6, threatening probably d5, threatening probably knight takes g6 is probably the biggest threat, followed by pawn takes pawn. I mean, if black just defends this, knight takes g6 is just crushing, right? Pawn takes and take the rook. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to say what black should have done, but clearly this is just losing. He's losing material either way, even if he just moved his rook here, or let's say black moved his rook and I just take the knight, I'm just a piece up. Actually, wait, no, maybe I should take with the queen, right? Because otherwise queen b6 is in there. So maybe this was, even here queen b6. There's still some, oh no, now I have knight, no, knight c, yeah, knight c4. Yeah, knight c4 is winning, but not by as much as I'd like to. Anyway, the rook is going to be lost, and white's going to be a full exchange up. Okay, who's next? b7 by 5. Okay, interesting name. From Russia. Good luck. Udachi, as they say in Russian. Which of course I know. And okay, the lag may be too much out there in Moscow, or one of the 10 or 12 time zones that Russia has. So we're not really seeing any action here from b7, b5. So we're gonna have to try this again. Okay, we actually have a move. Okay, fine. Let's start. I think, I guess, I hope it's just, yes, okay. We have a game. We have a game, and we can try to play it. Okay, and we're gonna play the Sicilian defense. All right. Fine. No problem. Let's play the Smith-Morra Gambit. And here. Have to be very careful in this line as black, especially if you want to get an advantage. Because certainly black can play badly very quickly and get into serious trouble if he's not careful. And try to be careful, but it's not that easy. I think I'm playing it correctly. Let's see. Let's see what white decides to do. Rook c1. Okay. Not too scary. We castle for now. Not that scary, actually. Now I guess I want to play bishop g4. If white plays h3, okay, that allows bishop g4. That I gotta do. That's a very nice pin to get in, because white will either have to weaken himself with h3 and g4, or really be kind of stopped in terms of what. Okay, this I'm gonna take, of course. I do not want to allow bishop b6 under any circumstances. And simply rook c8. Okay, now I suppose black will win back material if I'm not careful, so I'm going to go here. Wow, white's really thinking about this, and exchange this bad bishop of mine. Hopefully that will give me access to the d4 square, or force white to weaken his pawns. Let's see which way white goes. All right, let's take this. Aha, that's what I meant when I said, "Oh, force white to weaken his pawns." White has weakened his pawns. Okay, now I have to be a little careful. Now probably a move like this to prepare to defend everything. Yeah. And maybe just move the king away from that whole issue, so that there's no pin. And of course I could play f6 at some point. Let's see how white decides to continue this. Okay, changes the direction of the attack. Logical enough. Let me defend the c6 knight. So you can see white is really now struggling to try to get enough for the piece. In fact, why did I go there? I could have played knight a7, I suppose, right? And just exchange some rooks. That would be much better. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind, because I just wanted to double on c8 and play knight d8, but this was not strictly necessary. Knight e7 was absolutely fine. Now if I play rook c8, queen c4, will actually be problematic. See, so I made one wrong move, and now we have to deal with the repercussions of it. So you know what, I'm gonna just ignore it. I'm just play on a completely different side of the board now. b5. Okay, now I'm gonna play rook c8. Okay, king g7 to protect my pawn, and then I will go knight a7. Okay, and that starts the exchange operation. What's going on here? I'm a little bit confused. Is my opponent flagged, or is he not flagged? I don't know. It's hard to say, but in any case, my position looks winning. I'm just exchanging pieces step by step. Okay. Okay, I don't know, it looks like the game is actually over and we're in some examine mode, but I think we can say safely that this game was well played by black. If we go back, well, actually, I guess it was all examined. So, okay, let's skip it, because it looks like I explained a lot during the game, but it was all somehow in examine mode. Some little strange thing happened there in between, and we couldn't really figure out when the game was over and whether it was still going on. But anyway, it was quite instructive, I think. Okay, who's next? Let's try another game. Okay, this is probably going to be the last game. So good luck, everybody. And okay, knight f3. Let's play c5, c3. Okay, d5. Okay, okay, not bad, not bad. And white gave up a little bit of the initiative early on, but okay, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play a bit interestingly, so that we can see if it's possible to play actively against this bit passive setup. Okay, let's. Okay, I'm gonna basically try to put all my pieces to work as quickly as possible. That's gonna be my motto in this game. Now I'm looking to do something in the C file. Absolutely, no problem. And now I've got holes on the C file that are ready to be filled up with some serious. Okay, this looks iffy to me, but who knows? Who knows? Okay, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take. My God, my eyes are watering from anticipations. Anticipation of this. Okay, I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to take this one. Attacking the queen, by the way. I'm going to attack this pawn on f2. What? Alright, I'm going to check. I'm going to do what? What should I do? It seems I'm not convincing enough. So I'm going to attack something else here. This pawn. I'm going to take this knight. I'll just keep doing stuff. Okay, I'm going to return back, and here I am with lots of extra pieces. Okay, knight is queen's coming to f5. That I should stop. Just in case, I should stop that, right? So I'll just stop it with the bishop. So now the queen can't go anywhere. Okay, now, let's go back. Two pawns and two pieces for a rook is a lot. Plus a lot more weak pawns where I found the old ones. All right, let's develop a bit before we start reaping the harvest here. Let's finish our development. Okay, let's exchange the bishops. No problem with that. No problem with that at all. Okay, and let's prepare to take everything. Just everything, okay? Everything we can get our hands on. Well, let's just. I don't want the queen to come into my position, basically. I'm just going to stop it. So I just stopped queen h5. I don't even want to think about it. Basically, there's no reason to rush here. Although it's not a bad idea to do something. Alright, so let's say I play queen e7, so I can finally take the pawn on e3 with a knight. That's a plan of serious proportions, I think. Alright, let's grab that pawn. See where that gets us. Let's move our queen in. There'll be some mating ideas, I'm sure, coming up shortly. If my queen gets a little closer to white's king. All right, and now let's attack the rook. Okay, and exchanging queens is never a problem for me, as you may have guessed from before. From looking at some of my games, if I think the ending is better, and in this case is of course completely winning, I will always exchange queens. And here I'm picking up a little material here, or mating white, or both. So that should work quite well. Okay, lots of fun, thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Congratulations to Little Plotkin, who beat me on time after being 3 pawns down in an ending. That takes a lot of courage to keep playing that position. And I'll see you next time my show is on. Everybody, have a great day. Take care. Tricky mate. Hello? What the hell is that? Oh my god. I'm just made it. Oh my goodness. This is really, really unbelievable.